What if Hollywood didn't predict the future, but rehearsed it? Long before surveillance, AI companions and digital addiction became normal, movies showed us exactly how it would look. Maybe these weren't warnings. Maybe they were introductions. And maybe the future didn't arrive by accident, it arrived on schedule. Before I continue, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends, so more people can discover this content. Also subscribe to receive more content like this. Cinema has always done more than entertain. At its best, it acts as a mirror held up to society, not just reflecting the present, but sometimes revealing what lies ahead. Long before smartphones, artificial intelligence, or mass digital surveillance became part of everyday life, filmmakers were already imagining worlds that look uncomfortably familiar today. Some of these films were dismissed as science fiction at the time. Others were seen as exaggerated thrillers. Yet, years later, their warnings and predictions feel remarkably accurate. One of the clearest examples is Enemy of the State, released in 1998. At the time, the idea that governments could track individuals in real time using satellites, phone metadata, and digital records felt extreme. The film portrays a world where intelligence agencies abuse surveillance technology to monitor, frame, and eliminate perceived threats. In the decades since its release, real-world revelations about mass data collection, phone tracking, and state surveillance programs have made the film seem less like fiction and more like foresight. That same year, The Truman Show presented a very different but equally prophetic vision. The film follows a man whose entire life is broadcast to the world without his knowledge, turning his private existence into mass entertainment. What once seemed absurd now echoes in reality TV, live stream culture, and social media platforms where people willingly expose their lives to constant observation. The line between privacy and performance has become increasingly blurred, exactly as the film warned. In 2002, Minority Report took prediction even further. Set in a future where crimes are prevented before they happen, the film introduced the concept of predictive policing. Today, algorithms are used to assess risk, anticipate behavior, and guide law enforcement decisions. The movie also depicted personalized advertising that responds instantly to biometric data, a concept that felt futuristic at the time, but now mirrors targeted ads driven by online behavior, facial recognition, and data profiling. Some films focused less on systems and more on human relationships with technology. Her, released in 2013, explored the emotional bond between a man and an artificially intelligent operating system. Rather than portraying AI as cold or hostile, the film imagined software capable of empathy, growth, and emotional intimacy. As conversational AI and digital assistants become increasingly human-like, the film's core question feels urgent. What happens when machines meet emotional needs better than people do? Long before modern gene editing tools existed, Gattaca raised ethical concerns about genetic discrimination. Released in 1997, the film imagined a society where DNA determines social status, career paths, and personal worth. With advances in genetic screening and new technologies that allow scientists to edit human DNA, the idea of designed humans is no longer theoretical. The moral dilemmas posed by the film are now being debated in real laboratories and policy rooms. Few films have influenced discussions about artificial intelligence as profoundly as Blade Runner. Released in 1982, it explored what it means to be human in a world where artificial beings are indistinguishable from people. Beyond AI, the film anticipated the rise of mega-corporations, urban overpopulation, and moral ambiguity driven by technological power. Decades later, these themes remain central to conversations about automation and corporate influence. Not all predictions came from science fiction. The Social Network, released in 2010, chronicled the creation of Facebook, but unintentionally forecast the immense power social media would gain. The film hints at a world where personal data becomes currency, relationships are mediated through screens, and influence can be scaled globally. Today, social media shapes politics, mental health, and public discourse on a massive scale. Animated films have also offered chilling foresight. WALL-E, released in 2008, imagined a future where environmental neglect forces humans off Earth, leaving them dependent on machines for survival. The film predicted rising consumerism, environmental collapse, and a sedentary lifestyle driven by convenience technology, themes that resonate strongly in an age of climate anxiety and screen addiction. Sometimes predictions were hidden in light-hearted adventures. Back to the Future Part 2, released in 1989, famously envisioned flying cars, but its more accurate predictions often go unnoticed. Video calls, wearable technology, voice-controlled homes, and smart appliances all appeared in the film decades before becoming everyday tools. While not everything came true, much of it did. Finally, Network, released in 1976, may be one of the most unsettling predictions of all. The film warned of news becoming entertainment, outrage being monetized, and corporations shaping public opinion through media manipulation. In today's landscape of clickbait headlines, algorithm-driven outrage, and 24-hour news cycles, the film feels less like fiction and more like a documentary from the future. Taken together, these films raise an uncomfortable question. Maybe they didn't predict the future at all. Maybe the people who truly understand where society is heading, those involved in technology, power, data, and control, already knew what was coming. And maybe some of them had their claws in the movie industry, using cinema not just to entertain, but to soften the public, to normalize ideas before they arrived, and to make the inevitable feel familiar rather than alarming. If a future is shown to us often enough on screen, it stops feeling like a warning and starts feeling like destiny. Surveillance becomes necessary. AI becomes friendly. Loss of privacy becomes the price of convenience. These films may not have been messages from the future, but reflections of plans already in motion, quietly introduced through stories we were told were only fiction. In that sense, cinema doesn't just show us where we might be going. It helps prepare us to accept it. If you enjoyed this video, hit like. It really helps more than you think. Share it with someone who still believes movies are just entertainment. Subscribe for more deep dives into the ideas shaping our future, and let me know in the comments, which film do you think got it right or was trying to tell us something?